A year ago, I walked away from everything I thought I wanted, and it saved my life. A year ago, I made the hardest decision of my life. At the time, I didn't know if I was making the right choice, but looking back, I realized it was the best thing I could have done for myself. 3 years ago, I thought I found my dream job. I was excited to dive into new challenges and prove myself. At first, everything seems perfect. I worked hard, stayed late, and believed I was doing something meaningful. But slowly things began to change, and I didn't realize how much it was costing me until it was too late. Lunch breaks? Gone. Moments to breathe? Rare. Anytime I try to step away, I'll get put back in an urgent email, a last minute request, a colleague who needs me, stuff like that. I gave everything to this job, my time, my energy, my pride. It became my life. And without realizing it, it started destroying me. I was so focused on being the best, on proving my worth, that I ignored the warning sign. I tried to recover from my burnout several times, thinking I could push through it, but it's no longer a game when your body starts to fall apart. No matter how hard I try to bounce back, the exhaustion, the stress, and anxiety kept growing stronger. And eventually, I realized it wasn't something I could fix anymore. My health had already started to pay the price. As time passed, the job took over my life. My workload kept growing and stress started piling up. I could barely sleep at night. My mind raced constantly with worries about unfinished tasks. The anxiety started to affect my body too. My heart would pound even when I was lying in bed. My muscles were always sore from stress. I began skipping lunch just to keep up with work, and taking breaks felt impossible. Even when I tried to rest, I was pulled back in to help a colleague or answer an urgent email. Eventually, my health really started to suffer. Over 2 years, I developed an autoimmune condition, which only made things worse. I was exhausted all the time, and the stress was taking a serious toll. But I kept pushing myself, thinking things will get better. But I felt trapped, afraid to leave, but unsure how much longer I could keep going. Until I hit my breaking point. I realized that if I didn't make a change, my health would keep getting worse. I asked my boss if I could work from home for a while so I could take care of myself while still keeping up with my responsibilities. I hoped they will understand, but instead I got silence. Then something even worse happened. Our colleagues started asking me personal questions about my health and treatment. And it was embarrassing and uncomfortable. Not long after, I overheard discussion about my situation that made me feel completely exposed and unsupported. That's when I knew things wouldn't get better if I stayed. I decided it was time to take action. I explained that my health was a risk, but I still offered to work from home during the time I would search for doctors and therapy. 2 more weeks passed, and no one responded. And I felt invisible, like my struggle didn't matter to them at all. When I followed up, instead of discussing accommodation, I was simply told to return the key. My request to work from home had been interpreted as my resignation, and that's when I knew I wasn't valued there. I had given everything to this job, but when I needed support, I got silence. So at that point, I knew I couldn't keep pushing myself. So I went to my doctor, who gave me a medical certificate to cover the rest of my notice period. I added it in, and that was it. No more waiting, no more second guessing. I walked away for good. Leaving wasn't easy, it was terrifying, but as soon as I made the choice, I felt a huge weight lift on my shoulders. I realized that quitting wasn't about giving up, it was about choosing to take care of myself. I felt a kind of freedom that I didn't experience in years. Walking away wasn't just about leaving a paycheck behind. It was about taking back control of my life. It was about knowing that I deserve to be healthy, happy, and respected. I had spent so long putting the company's needs before my own, but in the end, I had to put myself first. People might wonder why I stayed for so long. I think it's because I was afraid to letting someone else's dream go, even at expenses of my own well-being. Was it hard to leave? Oh yes. Would I do it again? Absolutely. Sometimes we have to make tough decisions that others won't make for us. No one else can change your life or solve your problems. It's up to you. I don't know exactly what the future holds, but I have my life ahead of me to figure it out. And for the first time in a long time, I'm excited about what next. If you are struggling like I was, just take a moment to think about what really matters. Don't wait for someone else to tell you it's okay to put yourself first. You deserve to be happy and healthy, and sometimes that means making the hard choice to walk away. If something in your life isn't serving you anymore, give yourself permission to let it go. You deserve better. And remember, be kind with yourself. Bye.